1998. Oman was a country of untamed wilderness and ambition. We were about to build something impossible.
In 1998, I traveled from Britain to Oman to help repair an aging desert pipeline. But this assignment became far more than an engineering job. There was the old Gulf world of Dubai and Muscat, the mountains, the markets, the sea, and one dangerous mistake in the desert that I never forgot. The journey began in Manchester. I was heading first to Dubai, then onward to Oman for a pipeline rehabilitation job. Dubai was already changing fast, but Oman felt different. Quieter, older, more traditional, and far removed from the giant Gulf developments that would come later. The real reason I had come to Oman was to help inspect and rehabilitate an aging pipeline running through the desert. The work was demanding, the environment was unforgiving, and away from the site I made one decision that could have gone very badly wrong.
The journey began at Manchester Airport, where I was leaving Britain for another overseas engineering assignment.
A week in Dubai before continuing across the Gulf to Oman.
At the time, Dubai was developing quickly, but it still looked very different from the enormous city it would eventually become. I had no idea what Oman would be like.
Several hours later, the desert appeared beneath the aircraft and the lights of Dubai came into sight. Even Dubai International Airport was still a fraction of the vast complex people know today. Along Dubai Creek, the older trading world still survived. Wooden dhows were loaded almost exactly as they had been for generations. This was not yet the polished Dubai of luxury malls and artificial islands. Much of the city still felt like a working Gulf trading port. Then it was time to leave Dubai behind and travel to the country where I would actually be working.
The flight was relatively short, but visually it felt like entering an entirely different world. We landed at Seb International Airport, long before it became the modern airport serving Muscat today.
Mr. James, welcome to Muscat.
A company driver was waiting to take me to the compound that would become my home during the assignment.
I was staying in what felt more like a holiday camp than an industrial work camp, surrounded by other ex-veteran workers and their families.
My accommodation was comfortable, and after traveling through Dubai, I was glad to finally unpack.
That first evening, the other residents began explaining the routines of working and living in Oman.
It had a surprisingly relaxed atmosphere. Families lived there together, and everyone seemed to know everyone else.
Each morning began early. The objective was to travel before the full force of the daytime heat arrived.
My daily journey took me along the coast, with mountains on one side and the blue Gulf of Oman on the other.
We passed communities that still depended heavily on fishing, local trade, and the sea.
Oh, I speak of a place where the desert winds race through the canyons of whispering stars.
The assignment involved rehabilitating an existing pipeline rather than building an entirely new one. From the office, we traveled inland to sections of pipeline running through the desert.
The first task was to expose selected areas without damaging the pipe beneath the ground.
Once exposed, the age and condition of the original coating became much easier to see.
Damaged coating had to be removed so that the steel beneath it could be properly examined.
We inspected the exposed steel for corrosion, damage, and any reduction in remaining wall thickness. Even beneath protective shelters, welding in the Oman heat was physically demanding.
Each completed weld required inspection before the pipeline could move to the next stage.
Interpreted before the joint could be released.
Once accepted, the exposed steel had to be prepared for a new protective coating.
The coating system would protect the steel after the pipeline was returned beneath the desert.
Within hours, the desert could appear almost untouched, even though a major repair had been completed beneath it.
The sea was extraordinary. In sheltered areas, the water was so clear that it almost looked like glass. Small markets sold fish that had often been pulled from the sea only hours earlier.
Many skills were still passed from one generation to another without machinery or formal workshops. The settlements seemed to sit between two enormous natural barriers, the mountains and the sea.
Muttrah was where old Oman felt most visible, wrapped around a natural harbour beneath the mountains.
The harbour remained connected to trading routes that had linked Oman with India, Africa, and the wider Arabia world for centuries.
The Cornara was the perfect place to walk as the intense daytime heat began to fade.
Stepping into the souk felt like walking away from the modern world.
The smell of frankincense seemed to follow you through almost every part of the market.
Every passage seemed to reveal another mixture of colors, smells, and unfamiliar ingredients.
Silverwork and traditional khanzals appeared in shop after shop, each with intricate finish decoration.
After dark, the city could become almost silent, a dramatic contrast to the constant movement of Dubai.
And because alcohol was mainly available inside selected international hotels, we seemed to end up in a different hotel almost every evening.
We seemed to visit somewhere different almost every night, creating an unusual social circuit through Muscat's international hotels.
One hotel might have a live band, another a singer, and another some kind of touring entertainment.
Some evenings were less about drinking and more about sitting beside the sea with freshly caught food.
Outside the hotels, the roads were often almost deserted and the mountains disappeared into the darkness.
Goats seemed capable of climbing slopes that looked almost vertical.
The mountain roads could be spectacular, but they demanded constant attention.
These wadens felt completely hidden from the desert surrounding them.
Instead of turning back immediately, I continued, believing the ground would improve.
Within seconds, the vehicle had buried itself and was resting on the sand.
I tried digging out the wheels, but every attempt seemed to make the vehicle sink farther. I made the worst possible decision. Instead of staying with the vehicle, I started walking through the heat to find help.
After several attempts, the vehicle finally climbed free.
You should have known better.
When I returned, I was reprimanded. In desert heat, I should have remained with the vehicle, where I had shade and could be found more easily. Work continued, and gradually the selected pipeline sections were inspected, repaired, protected, and returned to service.
Where the desert winds race through the canyons of a whispering storm, where the echoes of kings in the silence still